In the early hours of a quiet morning, a 911 dispatcher received a call that immediately raised alarm. On the line was a teenage boy speaking in a shaken voice. He told the operator something almost unbelievable. He said he had hurt his twin sister and thought he had been dreaming. Emergency responders rushed to the home while the caller tried desperately to help his sister. Within minutes, police officers arrived and found a deeply emotional scene. The teenager was attempting to save his sister while repeatedly saying he didn't understand how any of this had happened. His parents, who had been asleep in another room, were awakened by the commotion. Confused and frightened, they struggled to understand what had taken place. Despite the quick response from emergency services, the situation turned tragic. Investigators soon faced a puzzling question. Was this an intentional act or a medical episode? The teenager explained that he had a long history of sleepwalking. Family members confirmed that over the years he had experienced unusual nighttime behaviors, including walking around the house while unaware of what he was doing. One relative recalled seeing him standing silently in a doorway during a sleepwalking episode. Another friend remembered an incident at a sleepover when he appeared awake, but later had no memory of it. These accounts became important as detectives tried to piece together what happened that night. During questioning, the teen remained calm but visibly confused. He repeatedly stated that he believed he had been dreaming. He explained that before going to sleep, he had stayed up late using his phone and researching outdoor survival gear. He said the next thing he remembered was suddenly realizing something was very wrong. Investigators examined the timeline carefully, looking for clues. They reviewed phone records, interviewed witnesses, and studied the physical evidence inside the home. One key question remained. Was the teen fully aware of his actions, or was he experiencing a sleep disorder episode? Medical specialists were brought in to evaluate the teenager. A sleep expert conducted extensive testing and concluded that he likely suffered from a condition known as parasomnia, which can include sleepwalking and other unconscious behaviors during deep sleep. The expert explained that certain factors could increase the risk of such episodes, including sleep deprivation, stress, and breathing disorders during sleep. According to this analysis, the events of that night could have been the result of what the doctor described as a perfect storm of sleep-related conditions. However, not all experts agreed. Another specialist testified that the teen's ability to recall details suggested he may not have been sleepwalking at the time. The case eventually went to trial, where both sides presented very different interpretations. The prosecution's argument. Prosecutors argued that the teen was fully conscious and responsible for his actions. They pointed to his detailed memory of the events, his behavior after the incident, the timeline of his phone activity. They also emphasized that sleepwalking rarely involves complex actions. The defense's argument. The defense focused heavily on medical evidence and family history. They called witnesses who described the teen as kind, non-violent, and very close to his sister. They also presented testimony showing that sleep disorders ran in the family. Their core argument was simple. There was no clear motive, only a tragic medical explanation. After several days of testimony, the jury deliberated for only a few hours before reaching a decision. They ultimately found the teenager guilty. During sentencing, the court considered both the seriousness of the case and the unusual circumstances surrounding it. The judge noted the jury's recommendation for leniency and issued a prison sentence shorter than the maximum allowed. Today, the case remains widely discussed because of the complex legal and medical issues it raised. It highlights difficult questions such as, can someone be held responsible for actions during sleepwalking? How reliable is memory after a sleep disorder episode? Where should the line be drawn between medical conditions and legal accountability? For many, the case stands as a reminder of how complicated the human mind can be and how quickly life can change in a single night.